Hello and welcome back to the Wasteland, everybody. Welcome back to New Vegas. Today we're going to be taking a look at the sniper rifle and all of its unique variants, which is pretty cool. Sniper rifle has appeared in basically every single Fallout game. It has changed a little bit in different Fallout games. This is the same model that it used in Fallout 3, which makes sense. A lot of the stuff got reused from Fallout 3. So the sniper rifle is going to be more of a mid to late game weapon that you're probably going to be finding. There aren't a whole lot of enemies that actually carry around sniper rifles. They're actually fairly rare. Hit squads can carry them around, so you might be able to get them from that. And I think there's a couple others depending on level that you can get. Like maybe the marked men can have these as well. So sniper rifles are fairly rare. They're not too rare to buy though. You can buy these from the gun runners pretty early on. You can buy them from members of the NCR that sell the sniper rifles, which is pretty good too. And the sniper rifle, like a lot of 308 guns, is going to be a pretty decent option for just about any build. So the sniper rifle requires 75 guns and 6 strength to wield. Fairly high guns, decent strength. You'll probably have that for a guns build though. By the time you're getting this, you're probably going to have 75 guns too. This one does 45 damage per shot, which is fairly good. It's not as high as other 308 guns. It's not as high as like the hunting rifle. The hunting rifle will outdamage this shot for shot, but this one does make up for that with its DPS, where this one has 87 DPS, so you can shoot the sniper rifles fairly fast. This one has 45 crit damage on it, which is pretty decent, same as its regular damage. This one has a 2x crit modifier, so that's really good. All the snipers actually have bonus crit chance, which helps them out quite a bit, especially if you're going with a crit sniper build, which is generally most sniper builds, and they can definitely abuse the crits. The sniper rifle only costs 27 action points to be using in VATS too, so it's actually pretty good for a VATS build. That's pretty nice. This one has very little spread, as you would kind of hope for. A lot of weapons like this do. This one is at 0.02, so it is one of the most accurate rifles in the game. This one has a magazine of 5, and you do reload all 5 shots at once, which is good. This one weighs 8 weight, so it is a little bit heavy. This can be cut down with its mod, and the unique versions actually weigh less than this, which is pretty awesome. And the sniper rifle has 80 health. Item health for the sniper rifles is generally pretty low, and that's kind of the downside to them. 80 health isn't a whole lot, and you can be spamming this out fairly quick. I would recommend that you just use this in a sniper role, more so than a general purpose role. It can absolutely be used in a general purpose role because it shoots fast enough, and it's pretty good at that. It's just, if you're going to do that, I would probably recommend something like the battle rifle or this machine to be using 308s with, because they have such high item health, and a lot of the time for like general purpose, you can just hip fire and kill enemies pretty easily, where those weapons really work for that. This weapon can also work for that, just you're going to break it quicker. For the pros of the sniper rifle, this one does have really high damage, which is pretty good. Well, maybe not really high damage, but high enough damage and high enough DPS. This one's got great long range. It's very easy to hit targets, and it already comes with a scope, which is fantastic. And it has a great ammo. The 308 rounds are one of my absolute favorites. They are very strong, and they can be kind of used in just about any situation. For the cons of the sniper rifle, they are kind of rare. Like I said, you're probably going to have to buy these. That's not such a big deal, but it's going to cost you something. And they do have low item HP, meaning that they will have to be taken care of and they will have to be repaired somewhat frequently, making it so you're either going to have to buy other sniper rifles, buy other weapons like service rifles if you have jury rigging to fix it up, or make your own weapon repair kits, which could also work pretty well for this. As for perks that help out with the sniper rifles, there's no individual perk that actually helps out with these, like Grunt doesn't. But VATS perks can help out with them quite a bit, so if you want to go with Action Boy, Action Girl, or Mathrath, as well as other VATS related perks that let you have more damage or more accuracy, something like Sniper or Commando can be really good for these too. As for the different ammos we got for the 308, we have the standard 308 rounds. These give you regular damage. They break your gun at a normal speed. Those are probably going to be the most common rounds you can find, and you can buy a lot of 308s from certain vendors, like Contreras always sells a bunch of them if you're willing to go through that. Gunrunners usually sell quite a bit of them too. Great Cons sell a lot of 308s, so you can get a lot of bullets that way. The NCR vendor at the dam also sells quite a lot of them, so that's really good. We've got hollow point rounds. These ones give you more damage, but give the enemy more armor. Fantastic for non-armored enemies. Not the best against heavily armored enemies. But then again, you also have the armor piercing rounds, but punch through 15 armor. So that's pretty good. Makes it so you can fight just about anything with this, just with those 3 rounds. But then you also have the jacketed soft point rounds, which are even better. These give you increased damage for breaking your gun slightly faster. These ones are really good. These ones are my absolute favorite. You do need the hand loader perk in order to get these, but they are totally worth it in my opinion. More damage for very little downside is really good. Maybe more of a downside in the case of the sniper rifle because it already breaks kind of quick. So the sniper rifle is a pretty solid rifle. For an overall rating on my tier list, I would put the sniper rifle up into A tier. I think it's pretty good overall. It's pretty nice at doing just about everything. There is a modified version of this that we need to talk about too, which the sniper rifle can get 2 mods. These mods can be sold by quite a few different vendors. If you're having trouble finding them, try going to the 188 post and talk to the NCR vendor there. They tend to have sniper rifle parts almost all the time for some reason. So the two parts you can get are the carbon fiber frame. This drops its weight by quite a bit. And this actually drops its weight from 8 all the way down to 3, so it barely weighs anything, which is pretty cool. And then you also have a silencer on this, which makes it so you have a suppressed gun. And that makes it so it's harder for enemies to find out where you are. That's pretty good. I don't know if this changes the sniper rifle immensely, because if you use this at long enough range, it's pretty good, and you can still use the modified version as a general purpose weapon, just hip firing it at close range. It will work pretty well. So I'm going to take the regular sniper rifle and put it up into A tier, just higher than the regular one. Main reason why I wouldn't put it up into S tier is because we have a unique version that has a silencer on it that's kind of better than it. So let's talk about the unique versions. Our very first one is the Gobi Campaign Scout Rifle. This one you can find in the base game. This one is found in the Sniper's Nest overlooking Cottonwood Cove. This is overlooking the Caesar's Legion area, and this is found in a very hard lock. So you're going to need to have 100 lockpicking or a way to break into this with 100 lockpicking to cheat it out. You can do that in a couple different ways. Magazines help, clothing helps. Various chems like mentats can help. Perks like comprehension are also really good. That way you double the amount of magazine points you get, so you can have like 20 from that. Have armor that gives you maybe another 5, and then have like mentats that buff up your perception, so you can have a couple more. This can make it so you can get into those areas pretty easily if you do that, and you can actually get this right away if you want to pump lockpicking right away. It could also be really good if you want to grab lucky at the start, which we've talked about in the 357 video. So the Gobi rifle requires 75 guns and 6 strength in order to wield, same as the normal sniper rifle. This one does 48 damage per shot, pretty close to the regular amount. This one does have a faster rate of fire though at 103 damage per second, so that's pretty good. This one also has much higher crit damage at 80 crit damage, which is really good for a weapon like this, especially since it has a 2x crit modifier, so you're more likely to hit crits with this. This one only costs 24 action points, so it's even better in a VATS build. It's actually really nice for a VATS build. It has less spread, which honestly doesn't really matter compared to the regular sniper rifle at 0.018, so it's slightly more accurate, but they're both basically like pinpoint accurate. This one has a larger mag at 6 rounds rather than 5 rounds, which is pretty cool. This one weighs less at 4.5 weight, and this one has double the item HP of a regular sniper rifle at 160. I think the Gobi Scout Rifle is one of the best rifles overall at doing just about everything. This has a really nice ammo, it shoots fast, it has a scope on it. I guess you don't have a suppressor on it, that's maybe the downside to it, but even then that doesn't really matter most of the time. Aside from that, just a straight upgrade from the sniper rifle, and I'd put the Gobi rifle all the way up into S tier. I think it's one of the best rifles, just like a lot of the 308 guns, they're all really good. And then we have one more sniper to talk about, which this is Christina's COS silencer rifle. This one you can find in Old World Blues. Christine's COS silencer rifle requires 75 guns and 6 strength in order to wield, so that's the same as the other snipers, not too much. If you want to rush to Old World Blues and grab this right away, it can be a really strong weapon. This one does 62 damage per shot, the most amount of damage out of any of the rifles. This one does have a little bit lower DPS though, so this one has 100 DPS, meaning that it shoots about as fast as the regular sniper, not as fast as the Gobi Scout Rifle. This one has 62 crit damage on it, so still quite high. Not quite as high as the Gobi, but fairly comparable. And this one has the highest crit chance out of them at 2.5 times, so you're much more likely to hit crits with this, which makes this thing a really good weapon for a crit build. This one does cost more action points than the other snipers though, at 38. So it's not as good in VATS as like the Gobi rifle would be, but it's still pretty decent. It's kind of getting high for a rifle, but not one of the worst. This one is just as accurate as the regular sniper rifle at 0.02, so very accurate. Holds 5 rounds like the regular sniper, weighs 5.5 weight, so it is lighter than the regular sniper, not as lightweight as the Gobi or the modified version. And this one has 85 item health, so this one breaks a little bit slower than the regular sniper. Not by very much, but slightly slower. And there's also a bit of backstory with this rifle, where this is the rifle that Christine brought to Old World Blues in order to try to kill Elijah with. Unfortunately, that didn't work out, and she had to leave the rifle behind, and then follow him to the Sierra Madre, where we get to see the outcome of that play out with dead money. So for Christine's rifle, I would also put this one up in S tier. I think it's also one of the best sniper rifles in the game. It's a toss-up between this and the Gobi to me as to which one you would like to have more. Both are good. Both you can actually get really early on, because it's not difficult to run to Old World Blues early on and grab this right away if you want to grab Christine's, or run down to the Legion camp if you have high lock picking and get the Gobi Scout Rifle. Since all of them shoot 308 rounds, they have a really good bullet. They have a lot of variety to them. They all do really good crit damage. They all have scopes on them, which is really good. If you want more of like the sniper silent version, then I guess go with Christine's. If you want the higher damage, higher spammy sort of weapon, then the Gobi Scout Rifle would probably be a better option for you. But they both are really good in both those roles too. So as for the sniper rifles and all their variants, I think they're all really good. Tell me your thoughts on them down in the comments below. I'd love to hear that. You guys take care, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.